Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a very interesting video for you guys. As you guys saw from the title of the video, I'm going to be talking about my labor and delivery story, and I wanted to film this like weeks ago, but as soon as I gave birth to my son, life has been crazy, exhausting. I have no time for anything. So I'm very sorry for the delay on filming this video, but here we are. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Sheila, and I would love for you guys to subscribe to be part of my Shayfam. And if you are a long-time subscriber, welcome back. You guys may or may not know, last video that I filmed was me sharing what's in my hospital bag, and then literally a couple days later I gave birth to my son, and everything went by so fast. Like, I didn't even have time to film videos that I was planning to film before giving birth. But here we are. I'm going to be talking about my labor and delivery story, how everything went about. I'm going to be covering certain topics like pain, epidural, contractions, my hospital stay, how everything went. So if you guys are interested, you guys can keep on watching, and yeah, let's jump right into it. FYI, I will be introducing you guys to my son. He's actually sleeping. I am watching him in the baby monitor. So I'm going to try to do this video as quickly as possible, because as soon as he wakes up, it's time to feed, it's time to burp, it's time to do all of that stuff. So I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible because mom life, right? Okay, so I have taken like a whole bunch of notes, so I didn't want to forget to cover anything with you guys. So let's jump right into it. I did not film me giving birth. I do have a couple video shots of my delivery room, and also when I held my son for the first time, my fiance cutting the umbilical cord, and that's about it. I don't have anything else. I'm going to be completely honest, and I'm going to just say this right now. If you are a first-time mom, my number one tip is to stay away from those videos where women are like actually giving birth and showing you how it feels to be in pain, all of that stuff. Because let me tell you, I watched so many videos and I ended up being so freaking scared to give birth. When it was getting closer to my due date, I was getting more and more scared, because I was just thinking about all those girls having contractions and being in pain, and I was just not ready for that, because honestly I don't tolerate pain so well. So I was like freaking scared and nervous to give birth. But to be honest, like, I feel like everybody's body is different, everybody tolerates pain differently, and you are just going to like torture yourself if you watch those videos. As a first time mom, that's what I personally think. I would like go back and not do that to myself, because my experience was completely different to all the videos that I've watched. So that will be like my number one tip for like first time moms. I feel like these videos are more helpful because, you know, you kind of get an idea of how things go, like what to expect. How women tolerate pain could be completely different to how you tolerate pain. So that will be my number one tip. That's all I wanted to just pop in this video. My due date was June 14th, and I gave birth way before that. Like, I knew that was going to happen, to be honest. Like, I knew my baby was coming in May. I just had that feeling. I knew that I was not going to make it to June 14th. So I'm going to jump right into like how everything went about. Okay, so on May 13th, I had my follow-up appointment with my doctor, and I was just entering my 37th week of pregnancy. When I met with my doctor, the original plan was to induce my labor at 38, 39 weeks because of my high blood pressure during pregnancy. So she went ahead and checked me down there, and I was 2 centimeters dilated, and right there she recommended for me to walk a lot, because that does help with, you know, getting more dilated and all of that stuff. So she just said, you know, be just prepared, have your hospital bag ready, everything ready, just in case the time comes, but just walk. So what I did, I started walking a lot at home. I was walking in the park and just trying to like speed up the process. So then May 23rd was my next follow-up appointment, and the doctor checked me and I was already at 3 centimeters with no pain, no contraction. I was not having any pain at all. So she just kept recommending to just walk a lot and just be prepared because the time might come like in like 2 days. That day actually I felt so freaking weird because when she checked me, after that I just felt so weird in my body. Like it felt like, this might be TMI, but after she checked me, I felt so weird in my body. Like, you know when you are about to get your period and you get like this weird feeling in your stomach, like you know your period is about to come through. That's how I felt. Like I felt like that for like 2 days, and I was like, I don't know, I just feel like the moment is coming. And this was May 23rd. This was May 23rd, and I was already 3 centimeters dilated. Then May 25th in the morning, my fiance was getting ready for work, and as soon as he left, I went to the bathroom, I took a piss, and literally when I was walking, like I felt like I peed on myself. I was like, wait, well, this is me. Like I didn't know if my water broke or what, but I just felt like I just peed my panties. And I went to the bathroom, like, because literally when I went to the bathroom, I took a piss, and right after I finished using the bathroom, I felt like I just peed on myself. Like I was like, wait, did I pee on myself? Then like a couple minutes ago, I just started dripping. Like I was dripping water, and I was like, oh, I think my water broke. And I was just like so nervous. Like I didn't know what to do at that moment. I'm like, oh my god, let me just wait a couple minutes. I laid down, the dripping stopped, and then when I got up again, I was just like dripping a little bit, and I just like, okay, this can't be me peeing myself because I can't control it. It was just kept coming down. And then I waited a couple more minutes. I was in no pain, no contraction or anything like that. So that's why I was like kind of confused, because people told me as soon as your water breaks, you are going to start feeling the contractions. And I was like not in pain. So I waited a couple minutes. I laid down again, and I was just like so nervous. I'm like, is this the day? Is this the day that I'm actually gonna give birth to my son? Like, is this the day? And then I decided to get up, and that's when a whole bunch of water just came down. I was like, okay, this is the time for me to call my mom and see what she says. So I called her and I said, look, I don't know if I peed on myself, but I'm just dripping water. And she was like, okay, call your doctor. So as soon as I called the doctor, I was like, look, doctor, I woke up, I went to the bathroom, and as soon as I finished, I just been dripping. I don't know if I peed on myself or what. And she said, okay, go to the hospital right away. It doesn't matter, just go. And I was in no pain. I was just like chilling, you know. So I called my mom. I told her, yeah, the doctor told me to head to the hospital. My sister and my mom picked me up, and we headed to the hospital. So the doctor had called the hospital and told them to inspect me, that I was that my water broke, and to take me to the delivery room and to get me checked, just to make sure that it was the day for me to give birth. And then they put me in the the hospital gown, and then I had to wait for like some nurses, a doctor to check me to make sure that my water actually did break. And once they checked me, I was like 3.5 centimeters dilated, and my water did in fact break. So they checked me into the hospital and told me, yes, today's the day that you are going to give birth to your baby. I was happy, but I was kind of like scared. I was so freaking scared. Like I was not like ready. Like I was not ready. But anyways, I was deep down, I was so excited to finally meet my son. Like I was so excited. Besides being nervous to go into labor, I was at 3.5 centimeters, and I was not having any pain. So the nurses told me to let's wait a little bit and see if you get any contractions or anything like that. So we waited, and I had no contractions whatsoever. And the doctor had instructed the nurses to give me medication to start the contraction. I believe this is what you call inducing labor. I'm not sure. So I believe the medication that they gave me was called oxytocin. And what they did was they put an IV through my vein, and they put the medication in. So they started with like small dose of the medication to see if it started the contractions. And I was not contracting the first dose of the medication. So the nurse added more of the medication into my IV, and after the second dose, the contractions started to come in. And let me say, I was not ready. I was not ready at all. When those contractions came in, it was painful. I'm not gonna lie, it was very painful. My son just woke up, so gotta pause this. Okay guys, so my son woke up. I just fed him and he was crying, and I got him to stop. So I want to take this time to introduce you guys to my baby boy. Now that his eyes are open, because most of the time it's closed. But little boy is right here. Right, baby? Right, baby? Yeah, so he is officially a month and like 2 days old. It's crazy how time flies. Like, I feel like I gave birth yesterday, but it's really a blessing to have this sweet little angel in my life. I am so happy. Here's my baby boy. I'm not sure if he's gonna look, but yeah, he's looking at me like, Mom, what are you doing? There he is. Look at that cutie pie. That baby. I love you. But yeah, I just wanted to take this time to introduce you to my son. His name is Jordani. For those who want to know, that's my baby boy's name. But yeah, there you guys have it, my little baby boy. Right, baby? Alright. Okay, I had to put my baby down. I put him to sleep, so let's try to finish this video. I think I left off in getting the medication for contractions, but before I even jump into that, the delivery room was pretty basic. It's nothing fancy or anything like that. It's just to give birth to my son, and I was not trying to be in a place like a hotel or something. But in my delivery room, pretty much it was the little bed where the baby's going to be put in, to be cleaned, to be weighed, and his little bed where he will be put after he's like showered and everything like that. I'll put a clip of that in the video so you guys can see. It was a pretty basic room. Since my water broke in the morning, I had no chance to eat, so I was like starving, and they gave me pretty much liquids because you can't have like regular food. So they gave me soup. I think they gave me like jello, juice, water, just liquid so I can have something in my stomach, because I was like legit starving. And what can I say about hospital food? It's hospital food. It's pretty much like food without any salt, which is like whatever. But I was like starving, so I was like, let me get whatever I can get. So yeah, the delivery room was pretty much straightforward. Nothing fancy. Yeah, back to the medication. I got oxytocin, I think that's how you say it. I'll put it on the screen. And that pretty much induces the labor, like starts the contractions. The nurse first started with like a small dose of the medication, just to see if it will start the contractions, and then I think she came in like maybe half an hour to an hour, I'm not sure, maybe less. I don't recall how long she had to wait, but I had no contractions after the first dose of oxytocin. And then she bumped it up and put more, and that's when the contractions came in. Let me tell you, it was painful. Like, I will say it's like cramps, but like 10 times worse. You feel like your stomach is like tightening, and such a really painful pressure. That's what I can say. You just feel like really bad pressure, and the best thing you can do is like breathe through it. Like, I tried, but it was so intense that I just couldn't like breathe. I was just like holding my mom's hands, my fiance was holding my hands, and I was just trying to like wait for the contractions to go. In the beginning, I think they were like 5 minutes apart, about so. And then it started to get like closer and closer together, like a minute, 2 minutes, something like that. And it was just like I was just like mentally preparing myself when the contractions were gonna come. Like, it was so painful. And then after the contractions were starting, I went from 3.5 to like 5 centimeters, and I was just having like consistent contractions. And then after I was like at 5 centimeters, I think 5 centimeters to 6, I asked for the epidural. I couldn't take it anymore. My mom was like, "Girl, try to push through them. Try to deal with the contractions a little bit longer," because she was thinking that the epidural was gonna delay the labor longer, and it was just gonna have me in labor for longer. And I was just like in the situation like, I just want the epidural. I don't want to go through this pain. I just wanted to get the epidural so it can help me manage the pain. So then when the nurse came, I told her I think I want the epidural, and I told her, is this going to delay the labor? And she told me, to be quite honest with you, the most it can delay is like 30 minutes. The most is not going to be longer than that. But if you are ready for the epidural, just do it, because you know, if you're in pain and you can't take it anymore, I would recommend for you to do the epidural. So I was like, yeah, let me get the epidural. I'm telling you guys, I don't tolerate pain at all. Like when my mom was pushing me to not get the epidural, like right then and there, I was like, so I'm not gonna say annoyed, but I was just not trying to hear it. I was like, I just want the epidural like right now. And she told me, look, there's people that come in at 1 centimeters, 2 centimeters. They're like in excruciating pain, and they get the epidural right there. So for you as a first time mom, I think you're doing great. So if you want the epidural, we can get the person that does the epidural and get this going. So I was like, okay, let's do the epidural. So the first thing that the person did was they cleaned up my back, and the one thing you had to make sure is like you relax, that you cannot make any sudden movements, because they're putting this needle right into your spine, pretty much. The one thing that they say is to just stay still. Like you can't move for nothing when they are putting the epidural. So all she did was pretty much she cleaned my back, and she told me the steps that she was going to take to put in the epidural, and all she said was just make sure you don't move. You have to stay still, because I am going to put the injection in your back, and if you make any movements, it's just going to mess up everything. So that was probably the hardest part, especially when a contraction came in. When a contraction came in and I was in pain, like I needed to move, and I was just, you can tell I was in pain. So the nurse that was in front of me, she was holding me, like pretty much supporting me in my pain and holding me, and whatever I needed, she just told me, just say, to let me know how you feel. And as soon as I made a sudden movement, she was like, what's wrong? What are you feeling? I told her a contraction is coming in. So she told the doctor she's having a contraction, just wait. So every time I had a contraction, they needed to stop until the contraction went away. So that was probably the hardest part. Other than that, I think once they put the needle, all you feel is like a pinch, like kind of pressure, and it's uncomfortable. I wouldn't say it's painful, it's just very uncomfortable. The only hardest part is when the contraction was coming in and she was like doing her thing back there. It took about, I would say like 30 minutes for her to do the epidural, and it was done for, like it was done. But once the epidural was in, oh my goodness, that made a huge difference. Like I did not feel pain at all. I felt just like pressure, like I knew when a contraction was coming in, but it wasn't like I wasn't feeling pain. So that was to me like the best. After like a while, you just feel like everything down there is numb, like your stomach, everything, you're like numb, your legs, you can't feel anything. So they put what's this called, I totally forgot the name of it. They put this thing down there for me to urinate and whatever I needed to do. Like I was not feeling anything when I needed to pee. like at all. Like I was not feeling when I was peeing, but I was actually peeing because I saw her take out the little like bucket, whatever it is, and I had like a whole bunch of piss in there, which is crazy because I did not know when I was peeing. But I forgot the name of the little thing that they put down there in order for you to take a piss, because she said as soon as you put that epidural, you're not going to be able to go to the bathroom. You won't even know when you're going to the bathroom. So that was that. After a while, I just felt like this is going to be TMI. After a while, I felt the urge to take a huge dump. Like, you know when you need to take a dump and you can't hold it in? Like, that's how I felt. And it wasn't painful. I was just like, this feels weird. I feel like I want to take a poop. So when the nurse came and I asked her, I'm like, is it normal for when a contraction comes in for me to just want to like take a poop? Like I just feel like I want to push. And she looked at me and she goes like, okay, you know what? Let's check you and see how much dilated you are, because once you feel that, it's like the baby's ready to come out. And I was like, what? Like, I just thought I just needed to poop because of the epidural. I just thought, okay, maybe because I need to poop. I'm feeling that pressure down there. And girl, when I tell you, I went from freaking 5 centimeters to 9 centimeters in less than like 2 hours. Like I was already ready to push. And the nurse was so surprised. She was like, wow, you are doing extremely good. Like you are ready to push this baby out. The baby is ready to come out. And she was like, once you feel the contractions more consistent and more together, you let me know. And then, oh my God, when the contractions started to be closer together, I just needed to push really bad. Like I could not hold it anymore. Like I just wanted to push. That's all I need to push. I need to push. And the doctor, my doctor, was not in the hospital at the time. She was home. It was her day off. She needed to get ready, and I needed to wait for her. And every time a contraction came in, I needed to push. And we just needed to wait for the doctor. The nurse said, we can't unfortunately do anything for you. You have to hold as much as you can because we can't do anything for you. The doctor has to deliver the baby. And I think she took about maybe 10 minutes to get to the hospital. But oh my God, that was like the worst. Once she got in, she just told me, okay, all you have to do is push. We're gonna be counting, I think, up to like 10, and you just need to be pushing. Hold your breath and push. And I was just doing it. Like I would say that I pushed maybe, let's see, like 6 to 7 times maybe. I did not count. Like my head was not anywhere to be counting how many times I pushed to take my baby out. But I would say about like 6 or 7 times I pushed and my baby was out. Like my baby was out. I can't tell you what a relief it felt to hear my sons cry. Like I got so emotional. I started to cry. My fiance was crying. My mom was crying. It was just such a beautiful moment. And I now believe it when people say as soon as you have your baby in your arms, you forget all the pain. Like literally when I had my son here, because I did skin to skin, I just forgot everything. My doctor was actually stitching me up because I did tear, and I was like not anywhere thinking about what she was doing on there. I was just focused on my baby. We were just focused in the moment, and it was so beautiful. I could relive that moment again, just to hear my son's first cry. I'll put a clip on the screen for you to see when I had my baby, when my baby was crying, when my fiance cut the umbilical cord, all of that beautiful stuff. I'll have it on the screen.
Danny. Danny. Did you clap? Oh, no. Oh, my God. It's like 3 minutes. Okay, Daddy, here's the cord. hard.
Thank you.
Right here?
It's hard, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's hard,
this is
yeah.
And it was just so beautiful, guys. Like, it's such a beautiful experience to hold a baby for 9 months. Then you hear its first cry. It's just like, wow, like, it's beautiful. Like, I would say that was my favorite part when I delivered my baby, just hearing his first cry. It was beautiful. So yeah, my son was born May 25th at 6:51 p.m. and he was born at 6 pounds and 7 ounces. It was a small baby, which was extremely good for me because I was scared to have a big baby and end up having like a C-section. I pray to God so much that I did not have to get a C-section. I wanted a vaginal delivery, so I was so happy. Everything went so well for me. I literally thought I was going to be in labor for like 2 days, and like I said, from 10 o'clock in the morning to deliver my baby in the evening, like almost at 7 o'clock at night, like, that's amazing. My doctor, all the nurses, my family was so surprised of how quick I delivered this baby. Like, I feel extremely lucky that I was able to go through that as quickly as I did, and it was a beautiful experience. I did mention I did tear, and I got stitches, and let me tell you, I probably will do like a whole separate video on postpartum, on products that has helped me through postpartum and all of that stuff. I'll do a separate video. Well guys, that wraps up this entire video. I think I covered all the topics in regards to giving birth, and I hope that me talking about this kind of helped you in what to expect. If you guys have any questions or anything I did not cover in this video, let me know in the comments down below and I will answer any question you guys might have. You guys can also follow me on Instagram, on Snapchat. I'm always posting my son on there, so you guys want to see my little boy, go ahead and follow me on there. I have a couple of like mommy videos that I have in mind to film, so if you guys are interested in those type of videos, don't forget to subscribe. And thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.